Hello guys, hope you're doing good. Okay, in this video, um, we're going to talk about the other matches that happened in the round of 16. Okay, on Wednesday after the Barcelona match, we played at 6:45. So firstly, we start with Bayern de Munich qualified normally. Okay, Bayern qualified. It was normal, right? It was normal. We knew what was going to happen. Next we have Liverpool qualified. Personally, I think in that Liverpool, because I watched the match, personally, I think in that Liverpool's match, one of the deciding factors that decided that match was Victor Osimhen, because the injury of Victor Osimhen made it, I think, it killed down the spirit of the Galatasaray guys, because actually they tried, they played, just like Galatasaray have very shaky and shambolic defense. They are very good. They bring out the ball from the back very well. Okay, but in front, the absence of Victor Osimhen costed them a lot, because after that hand injury, he could no more press, he could not run, and he even wanted to fight. Like he really wanted to play, right. He really wanted to continue push forward, but it was obvious the pain was too much for him to bear. Okay, the pain was too much. He could no more play. He could no more get into duels and all that. He could no more even win duels. So that also influenced the Galatasaray's match and also influenced Liverpool qualifying. Everything being equal, we're going to see how performant Liverpool can be in the next round. Okay, the one also was home advantage, Anfield. Even though Chelsea never knew what is called home advantage. Okay, that's it. The next was Atletico de Madrid, Tottenham. So Tottenham thought that in their gospel mind, Atletico de Madrid could throw away what they did during the first half. Madrid is a very yeye team, very yeye team. There was no way, if the worst came to the worst, that Tottenham was leading two goals to nothing. Atletico Madrid they were going to defend. Therefore, defend till the match finish. They are not ready to throw away that lead. They are not ready. They are not even really ready. A very yeye kind of team. A very yeye team. Hmm. So it was obvious they were going to qualify. That was a no-brainer now. That was a no-brainer. So now, for the quarterfinals, we have Real Madrid to play against Bayern de Munich. Okay. Now I see some people saying that Bayern is in form. Bayern is going to eliminate Real Madrid. And see. For those that understand football, understand that there is a probability of Madrid eliminating Bayern compared to Bayern eliminating Madrid. Okay, there are some things that you guys have to understand in football. Okay, Bayern is in form. I agree. Bayern has the capability of eliminating Madrid. I agree. But here we're talking about the Champions League. We're talking about Champions League, and there is a probability of Madrid eliminating Bayern. Maybe the only factor that can play against Bayern, that can play against Madrid, should be their goalkeeper, because we have infos that Courtois is going to be out. Courtois is going to be out for relatively 1 month or so, more than. In fact, the number of matches that Courtois is going to miss an equivalent of 10 matches. And among those 10 matches, we have the matches against Bayern. Maybe that's the only thing that Bayern can capitalize on. But nevertheless, Lunin in n'est pas dégueulasse. He's not a bad goalkeeper either. For those that remember, the season of 2023, where Real Madrid took the Champions League, if you remember vividly, actually, Lunin was the one that took Madrid through all the final phases of the Champions League. Courtois came back only doing the finals and played the final against Dortmund. Okay, so Lunin is not bad. It's not like c'est pas comme s'il est trop dégueulasse quoi. So maybe Bayern can capitalize on that, but yet Lunin is not bad. So I don't see Bayern eliminating Madrid. I see Madrid eliminating Bayern on aggregate and experience. Careful, aggregate and experience. That's my point of view concerning that particular match. Anyway, then I'm going to make a proper pre-match analysis. Now I'm just giving my point of view. Atletico de Madrid Barcelona, tricky match. And I think we're going to play Atletico de Madrid 4 times in April. We're going to play them in the league. I think 3 or 4 times. We're going to play them in the league. I played them 2 times, Ali and Retu in the Champions League. Okay. So, tricky match. I don't know. I've not yet checked where the Ali is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be at our home or their home. But everything being equal, we are supposed to make sure we learn or we continue the learning that we have had to do from the other matches that we've had against Atletico de Madrid. Okay, so we're supposed to continue that learning process. Match Ali, we make sure that we don't concede a lot, especially if the match Ali will be at their field. We limit on limiter les dégâts match retour at Camp Nou. Whatever be the case, Barcelona is supposed to qualify. I will start being scared probably when we come back tamponner Arsenal probably. Okay, so that's my point of view. Right? Now, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain. I think it's going to be an easy one for Paris, and this will be the second season consecutively that we're having that time. I think Enrique is going to still come out there victorious. I don't see Arne Slot doing anything serious against Paris. Personally, my point of view. But like I said, that's always it's football. Okay, it's football. Okay, it's football. So what again? Which other serious fixture do we have? Arsenal Sporting. That should be an easy win for Arsenal. That should be an easy win for Arsenal. I think that's all. Those are some important matches. Okay, at the quarterfinals. Now, concerning our club Barcelona, something just came to my mind concerning our injury problems. Okay, I think Hansi Flick should play Xavi Espa more often. He should play more often because as it stands now, I think most of our matches, Araujo is going to play as a right back. Maybe in the decisive matches, Araujo will play as our right back, while Cancelo stays on left because Cancelo is very useful on the left. Or better still, Gerard Martin will be playing as a left back, while Cancelo might maybe play as right back, and Xavi Espa will be coming in. Okay. Now, I saw the call up for Spain. Most of our players have been called up. I think Fermin Lopez have been called up in Spain. Pedro have been called up. Lamine Yamal have been called up. Dani Olmo have been called up. Who again? I think. And then Joan Garcia please has to be rested because, like I said in the previous video, his injury is not that serious, so he can play against Rayo. The match against Rayo, we're going to have a pre-match analysis. I'm in for who can play our best 11. The same thing like we did against Sevilla. We play our best 11. We secure our victory. Then we can now rest them. Okay, so that they can go for international breaks. Please, they should not go and stress them there during the international break. Given that the finalissima is not even going to play. Okay. Come to think of it, I saw a very crazy start. I saw a stat that says the player that have more contributions in more goal contribution in the Champions League this season is Arda Güler. Bizarre. So I saw that. Okay, so I think this should be the end of the video. Okay, so you give me a point of view. You tell me what you think concerning my analysis. The Real Madrid fans, you tell me what you think. In the absence of Courtois, okay, how do you guys intend to cope? What do you think is going to happen? Do you see yourself going through against Bayern? Okay, the other Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool, the other tie. How do you guys see it? How do you think it's going to be? Barcelona, Atletico. What do you guys think? Give me your point of view in the comment section. I'll reply to all comments. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. turn on the notification bell. Okay, please share. Okay, see you in the next one. Peace. Visca Barça, Visca Catalonia.